Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forex coming to you with another market analysis currency breakdown. This morning we're going to be looking at the USDJPY. But before we get started breaking down this chart and this currency pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. But this is not financial advice. But we all know why you guys are here. You guys are here to find good, credible Forex content that can help improve your ability as a trader and to help put some extra money in your pocket in these troubling times. Okay. Why do the hard work? We'll do the hard work for you. All we ask is that you like, subscribe, and share our videos. Subscribing will allow you to get notifications on when we drop new trading content, and also liking and sharing helps pushes our content out there in YouTube, so we can have more people who are trying to find credible trading information come and find us, and we can continue to build our community of profitable traders, because our goal at Black Forex is to build a community of profitable traders. Okay, so I'm pretty sure everybody who watches these videos have won trades here and there, but the goal is to win trades consistently. You want to have consistent winning trades, consistent maximize wins, minimize your losses, maximize your profits, and minimize your losses. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. So you guys been watching our videos for some time. Before we get to talking about what's physically happened on the chart, let us talk about what is fundamentally happening with each respective currency, starting with the Japanese yen. Okay, so the Japanese yen did have some news come out about it yesterday, and this news came out. This news came out actually during the overnight session, just almost at the tail end of the Asian session, and it was some negative news. So we've been having more negative news and positive news coming out about the Japanese yen, and that's because they're really taking more of a docile approach to combating the inflation that's being suffered upon the Japanese economy. Okay, so they being that the government's taking that docile approach, we've been seeing a weakening of the yen, not only against the USD but against all of the other six other major currencies. Okay, so at first we were on a trajectory to see a strengthening Japanese yen, due to the due to like the bullish hawkish stance the government stated they were going to take against combating its inflation. And then we did have some good signs over this prior weekend in which they said the Japanese were going to release oil from its oil reserves to help bring the prices down of gas in its own country. But yet, according to the economics, it doesn't seem like they're really taking a too tough of a stand on inflation. So we don't know. You can't necessarily put a finger on why on that, but that's just what's happening. Okay. But the reason why you do see a strengthening of the Japanese yen as we get to this mid part of the trading week, regardless of the negative news that's come out about it, is because a lot of the charts are at like almost decade to 2 decade year highs. Like, for example, this USDJPY chart is at a 20-year high. It has not been this high since 2002 of May, and that is 20 years from now. Well, that was 20 years in the past. So we're approaching decade and 2 decade year highs. So you cannot sustain highs for that long. Example I like to give when you get to this point is Dogecoin. Dogecoin got to like record highs of like 70, 80 cents, and then it's dropped down and has not traded above 30 or 40 cents since it hits that record high. Okay, so we're going to see a continuation of most of the JPY charts heading towards the short side, and it looks like it's going to be independent of the fundamentals. But what's going to dictate how fast the short side trajectory goes is with the fundamentals. If we get some more positive fundamental news about the Japanese yen, then we're going to see more aggressive moves towards the short side with most of the Japanese pairs. Okay, especially if the Japanese currency resides on the right side of the currency structure. Excuse me, especially if it resides on the right side of the currency structure. Okay. But if we start to get more negative news than positive news, then we will start to see ranging. We will start to see weak pushes towards the short side with periodic rises in price towards the long. Okay. So now let's discuss what's happening with the USD. With the USD, we have some very good news with the USD concerning the building permits and everything like that. So the USD is still continuing its trajectory of maintaining it as one of our stronger currencies heading into the mid part of this trading week. And it's continuing its current trajectory as gaining its strength that it's been losing since the beginning of the year. Okay, we do have some news coming out about the USD around 10 o'clock. So we're going to have to watch and how that plays out as we get into the beginning part of the New York session. Okay, but for right now, we have a strengthening USD, and we have in theory, a technically weak JPY, but is acting more on the stronger side due to the overall technical analysis of it being at a 10-year to 20-year high, depending on what charts you're looking at. So we're going to start to have drop in price pretty soon. We currently have a drop in price. Okay, so now that we got those fundamentals out the way, let us go ahead and dive into what's happening on the chart. So as we said during our fundamentals, we're going to see a continuation towards the short side. This is going to be regardless of the fundamentals at this point, just because you can't maintain 20 and decade all-time highs. Now, this is not saying that it's not going to continue go towards the long side, but you cannot just keep buying at these excessive high prices, especially major banks, major investors, major players are not going to continue to buy at these high prices anyway. They're going to allow sellers to come in before they even want to if the chart is going to continue on a long side trajectory. Okay. So we're going to continue to drop. Let's see how far we can drop. We can drop as far as here, or even here before we start to range out and possibly start to go up. Now, what's going to be the real litmus test to see what is going to be the overall new trajectory of the chart is how the retracement comes in. Once we have the drop, if we start to have range and aggressive adjustment towards the long side, then we can still be continue to go on a ride to start reaching more record high prices when it concerns the JPY pairs. But as long as if we see a weak, pathetic push up on the retracement, then we're going to continue to see price going down. But as of now, this is looking like this is going to be the new trajectory area of where price wants to go. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be dropping, and this is going to be the new trajectory area of where price wants to go before we can start to possibly see it range out or continue to go down. Wait for the range to come in before you go ahead and make any decision on which position that you want to take along with the retracement as well. But for the short term, we're going to be looking at a drop the price to this general area right here. For the long and intermediate term, we're going to have to wait for the range and retracement to come back in to judge how aggressive that retracement is going to be before we can determine the long-term trajectory of this chart or the Japanese pairs in general. Okay. Hope this information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.